Our financial advisors, Gregor and Billy, visited the Orkney College last spring to give a presentation to students on what it's like to work in the financial industry. I wasn't able to attend due to work commitments, however my Pat, Mandy, suggested that I get in touch if she felt the position might be suitable for me. I'd never considered a career in finance, and my degree was heavily focused around marketing and social media until I heard about the position and researched career paths and what the position involves. I kept an open mind when I was researching Gregor Howitt Wealth Management and St James's Place Wealth Management. I found myself really wanting to work for them. I'm incredibly drawn to certain company cultures, and I was actually quite inspired by the level of charitable work that Gregor's involved in. So the application was by email. It was just a CV with a covering letter, which itself I spent a lot of time on. I also got my family members to review it. It's really important to get a fresh set of eyes on there. I present my CV more like a newsletter. I was very conscious to design something that would grab a potential employer's attention rather than just being another one in the pile. For the formal interview, there was the initial question-based interview, various scenarios and how you would deal with them, the usual kind of thing you would expect. But there was also a practical test, which I now realise is very similar to what I carry out on a daily basis, except I wasn't trained in it. I thought I'd messed up here because I really didn't know what I was doing, but luckily it was just to benchmark for training requirements rather than an actual compatibility test. I think the important thing to take from that is that if you have a test, don't be afraid by it, even if you don't know what you're doing. I researched a lot and a couple of hours a night, every night for the 2 or 3 weeks running up to it. I began with learning as much as I could about the industry, scoured the website for talking points, looked at example interview questions online for similar roles. I prepared answers for potential questions, and I ensured that I had some form of evidence to back up every response that I had. With a very diverse work experience, I had to frame my core skills in such a way to demonstrate how they could be applied in the role. Most importantly, I put myself in the mindset that I was the best person for the job, so I could go in confident. You need to be able to believe that you're the best candidate if you're going to be able to convince a potential employer that you are. I think you should absolutely go for it, particularly within the financial services sector. The skills and knowledge required are so particular, it's highly unlikely that potential candidates would have learned them at college or university. So you're probably against the same people in the same mindset. Instead, use your experiences to justify why you're a good candidate. Remember to draw from personal experiences, volunteering, sports, activity groups. Make sure your personality shows through an interview as well. Show a genuine interest. Prepare a couple of questions that will spark a conversation. You can only do this through doing lots of research. It seems like a lot of work, but it really does show an employer that you're committed to that position. Yeah, the careers and employability team helped me with aligning my skills with the job description from preparing the initial contact email to carrying out a mock interview to help me to prepare and provided good feedback to take on board before I actually went into interview. I was able to go into the interview with a good idea of what to expect and practice in responding to answers. I have a tendency to stutter a little bit when I'm nervous, and this practice meant that I was more familiar with what I was going to say. It also helped a lot with recognising how to portray relevant skills that I could not evidence with direct experience.